Is the Quran the word of God? Or could it be the word of man? Let's think about that. The Quran was revealed over a period of 23 years. Had the Quran been revealed in a single moment, it could have been argued that it was easy for a man to contrive all of the remarkable aspects of the book in a perfect manner. However, the verses of the Quran were actually revealed at different times, over a period of 23 years, and yet it is absolutely consistent throughout. And what exactly do I mean by the remarkable aspects of the Quran? Well, check this out. The statement of 7 heavens is repeated 7 times in the Quran. The creation of the heavens is also repeated exactly 7 times. The word day is repeated 365 times in its singular form, while the word days in its plural form is repeated 30 times. The number of repetitions of the word month is 12. The number of repetitions of the word plant and tree is the same, 26. The word payment and reward is repeated 117 times, while the expression of forgiveness, which is one of the basic morals of the Quran, is repeated exactly twice that amount, 234 times. Furthermore, when we count the word say, we find it appears 332 times. We arrive at the same figure when we count the phrase they said. The number of times that the words world and hereafter are repeated exactly the same amount of times, 115. The word Satan is used in the Quran 88 times, as is the word angels. The word faith is repeated 25 times throughout the Quran, as is the word infidelity. The words paradise and hell are each repeated 77 times. The word zakat, which means charity, is repeated in the Quran 32 times, and the number of repetitions of the word blessing, barakah, is also 32. The expression the righteous is used 6 times, but the wicked is only used half as much in the Quran, that's 3 times. The number of times the words summer hot and winter cold are repeated 5 times. The words wine and intoxication are repeated in the Quran the same number of times, 6. The number of appearances of the word mind and light is the same, 49. The words tongue and sermon are both repeated 25 times. The words benefit and corrupt both appear 50 times. Reward and action are both repeated 107 times. Love and obedience also appear the same number of times, that's 83. The words refuge and forever appear the same amount of times in the Quran, 28. The words disaster and thanks appear the same number of times in the Quran, that's 75. Sun and light appear both 33 times. The number of appearances of right guidance and mercy is the same, 79. The words trouble and peace are both repeated 13 times in the Quran. Treachery is repeated 16 times, while the number of repetitions of the word foul is also 16. As I said before, the book as a whole was revealed over 23 years. How then could the Quran possibly be man-made? For that to be true, Muhammad would have had to memorize each and every word, as well as the number of times that each word was repeated, in order for all of these numbers to match up. And that too over a period of 23 years. Could it be that all of these are a mere fluke? Or is it that Prophet Muhammad was a mathematical genius, as well as a man of profound eloquence? For not only is the Quran accurate throughout, without even a single discrepancy, but also each chapter is a poetic masterpiece in its own right. Now ponder on this. The words man and woman are also employed equally, 23 times, and 23, as you know, is the number of chromosomes from the egg and sperm in the formation of the human embryo. The total number of human chromosomes is 46, 23 each from the mother and father. Now, human being is mentioned 65 times in the Quran. The sum of the number of references to the stages of man's creation is exactly the same. Soil is mentioned 17, drop of sperm is mentioned 12, embryo is mentioned 6, a half-formed lump of flesh is mentioned 3, bone is mentioned 15, flesh is mentioned 12. All of these add up to 65. The words indicate each of the stages of human creation, while the sum of the number of times each of these is mentioned adds up to 65, which is the number of times human being is mentioned in the Quran. Now check this out. The word land appears 13 times in the Quran, and the word sea appears 32 times. giving a total of 45 references. If we divide that number by that of the number of references to the land, we arrive at the figure of 28.888. Now the number of total references to land and sea, 45, divided by the number of references to the sea in the Quran, 32, is 71.111. Extraordinarily, these figures represent the exact proportions of land and sea on the earth today.